Hey guys, I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be talking about Sound of Freedom. And I really am going to be very short and honest. Watching this movie, I'm going to say this now. This is probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Hands down. I honestly think this movie delivers such a powerful message. The story is absolutely amazing. The narrative is well structured. The acting is honestly sensational, and the movie is very emotional. Even coming back now, I'm still feeling tense watching that film. Just how gripped I was with this story. It is one of the most emotional storytelling movies I've seen in my lifetime. And I honestly think what Angel Studios did and what the actors done is an absolute achievement. I honestly think that this is one of the best constructed movies I've seen, and judging the budget they had, they really didn't have a big budget to go for or really to promote this movie elsewhere. But wow, watching this movie and coming back today, I'm absolutely astounded what I just saw. This movie is a genuine masterpiece. Now, to kind of talk about the many great things about this film, one of the most gripping things about this movie is just how tense its story is. Now, the film is based on a true story, so a lot of these themes that you see in this movie and the sort of sequences from its story and its narrative is actually based on a real life event. So the main premise of this story is about a U.S. government agent called Tim Ballard. So he's played by Jim Caviezel, and he's basically on a mission to rescue children from a sex trafficking ring in Colombia. So he's basically trying to sort of, find the perpetrators of these trafficking ring, and he comes across one of a family member in Colombia who's had their children taken by traffickers. So this movie really, set the theme really quickly, and it really was self-aware of like trying to deliver a dark, gripping theme immediately. And it really did, hit me emotionally, honestly. Watching the emotions from the actors from this film, how upset they felt, the emotions spewing through, the music, the soundtrack, everything came to life, honestly. I think watching a movie, it really put my attention span really focused on really how a lot of these things can happen in real life, can actually be portrayed in this way. And it makes you think so much about how serious sex trafficking or child trafficking or any sort of trafficking can really damage people. It really does have that sort of sense of feeling to it. So the narrative and the story is so impressive. But one thing I will also say is what's so impressive about Sound of Freedom is that it's really self-aware of really going through dark themes very well. And it really does put so much emotion and emphasis on the serious nature of trafficking. And I really honestly think watching this was just a real reminder of just thinking about, serious crimes and all the things that happen in the world that could be really messed up. And this movie really does portray its message in such a phenomenal way. I really honestly think the choreography, the visuals just really stood out. And even throughout its whole near 2 hours and 10-minute runtime, I never ever felt dazed watching this. My retention was just so focused on how well constructed this movie is. I mean, really watching this, you wouldn't really expect this to be from an independent studio. And it makes me wonder that just really, do we ever really see movies like this? Because, we kind of need movies that really express a powerful message, and a message that we need to point fingers at to really know the true evils in the world could be so messed up in society. So I honestly think what this film achieved is, honestly, it breaks new grounds into such a sensational way. I really think that this is probably one of the most tense movies I've ever watched. And when I mean a tense movie, it's not anything to portray anything negative whatsoever. It does it in such a positive way, and it really puts it out there to really know the real serious natures that these sort of things can have an impact on people. So I think everything from its choreography, its visuals, its soundtrack, the emotional ways the actors convey themselves in this film is just honestly beautiful. Now, the movie does mention it is an action film. Now, I will say there isn't really a lot of action in this film. Now, that doesn't really take away anything from this film at all. Like, most of this movie is more set up as like a thriller or a drama, and it really sends, it gives us so much tense and anticipation to know, like, how, a trafficking ring could be so controlled by these evil perpetrators that operate this ring in Colombia, and what they really do to these children and manipulate them and abduct them in such a horrific way. And I honestly think that that was the main theme of this film. But there are some elements of action in this film, and even when they still deliver, it's still delivered amazingly. I really honestly think finding a fault for this film is honestly non-existent. I really don't think you can really fault this movie at all. I think the budget that Angel Studio had to work with, they actually delivered such a masterpiece of a film. Even better than films that really top 100 million, 200, 300 million dollar budgets. So this is a real accomplishment for me. So overall, I absolutely love this film. I think this movie is a phenomenal film. It's got an impressive message. The actors did such a phenomenal job delivering this film in an emotive way, a powerful way. I really don't think you could really have any criticism about this film whatsoever. So overall, if I have to rate Sound of Freedom, this is really high. I'm really pushing this one. But for me, this film gets the full 10 out of 10 approval. It is a genuine masterpiece. I think for an independent studio who worked with such a small budget of a film, this movie had a $14.5 million budget. And what they delivered from this movie is amazing. The actors did such a great job. From the normal adult actors to even the children who acted in this movie were absolutely phenomenal. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself just how good this movie is, but it is genuinely a good movie and a definite must watch. It will make you emotional. It will make you tense. I've noticed people were, feeling upset watching this movie, but this movie appreciates everything, and it appreciates its audience, okay? Because even at the end credits, they even delivered the message that you would have felt after watching this movie, and they really wanted to thank every single one of you for doing it. I really think Angel Studios really needs the message and the finances to really get this movie out there to the world, because I honestly think that this is one of the best successes I've seen in probably my lifetime. I never really see an independent movie do as well as this, and I honestly think this could really be an absolute success of a film. So to the guys at Angel Studios, the actors, the directors, all the producers, everyone, I just want to say thank you for this movie. After almost all the years of watching garbage Hollywood generic movies, you've actually done something impressive, and I thank you for that. And yeah, that's about it. See you later.